Okie dokie, so we have hopefully got a question, or a couple of questions, or maybe we've got something that looks kind of like a question if you squint at it a bit. So what you might need to do, and again, remember every person's doing something different. You might be thinking, oh my god, I've already done this, I don't need to do this. But maybe you think, oh my god, I've got nothing. So you might like to start writing a journal, justifying your topic. This is mainly to get you thinking. We don't really need too much evidence here. What we do need is pointed evidence. So we need to know what the topic you think you want to pursue is. We want to know why you're doing this topic. Why is this question the one appealing to you? You need to really think about the weaknesses, look back at your SWOT maybe if you did that, and really clearly articulate to us, why this one? Why not the other one? Why not the other 17 you've tried? Now, as you're doing this, you might find that you're writing, I don't know. I don't know if it's complex enough. I don't know if it's weak enough. I don't know if it's refined enough. And that's where you might need to engage in a little bit more planning. When you are thinking about your question, some advice. Make sure that your question is refined to a point that you feel comfortable with at the moment. Your focus question should be helping you there. You should have maybe 3 to 4 points. You shouldn't be trying to encompass the entire history of something or the entire scope of something. You might not have any idea if it's refined enough. You might look pretty refined right now, and then you start researching and you find it is not refined at all. That's great, because that means you get to refine it again. And then if you do some more research and you find it's still not refined, refine it again. Just keep going throughout the entire project, possibly up until the day that you hand in your outcome. Just keep refining it. Now, what you might need to do if you're really, really stuck is to do a bit of a question breakdown. Now, how you do this is totally your call yet again, but here's an example. We're really hoping that not all 120 of you do the exact same thing. At least change the colors if you're going to do this. But it could be that you have a think about breaking down the key words, thinking about your question stem, the starting words, thinking about the key words that you could use, thinking about who your question relates to, what context it relates to, what country, time period. There's so many things that you could refine. Then justifying that. And you might do what you can see on the screen 6 or 7 times. It doesn't have to look that pretty. Do not spend 2 hours making the arrows pretty. That is a waste of time. Just scrap it out on some paper. Okay? If you don't have the final wording yet, don't stress. That's the whole point of research, that you are going to go out and you're going to find out what you can and you're going to respond to it as appropriate. Okay? Now, a few things to think about, some advice. Now, this actually comes straight from the SACE board. You need to make sure that all of the processes so far have proven to you that the question is researchable. There is information out there, and your background research had better prove it. One of the things your teachers should be asking you is, where is your proof that this question works? You need to make sure that it's manageable. If you're going to look at 200 different types of something, I feel like that's a bit unrefined. Pick 1 or 2. Maybe you pick 1 or 2 and you find out actually that's way too refined. You need to go the other way. Maybe you need to look at more. That's totally normal. Make sure that your question is open-ended and it's something new. If you are the expert in underwater knitting, do not do underwater knitting because that is not going to teach you anything. Okay? You're not going to research anything. You're just going to garble out whatever you already know. Try to have a think about different question stems. We've popped a few examples up there, but there's a million other ones. It doesn't have to all sound the same. Not every question has to start with to what extent. Try to make sure that if you are going to do something general, like how to become a nurse, try to actually think about making that more sophisticated. So it could be something like, what is the best way to try to become a nurse based on whatever? Or, some way, think about getting some ranking, some evaluation in there, something that you can actually create a sophisticated answer.